This session focuses on curriculum creation and alignment in paired co-requisite courses. If you're working with a partner, you'll want to have a conversation about the following points together. If you're an instructor who's teaching both sides, so you are the disciplinary faculty instructor and you are also doing the developmental education support, you may also find the following points useful for clarifying your approach and curriculum alignment. So, mapping the co-requisite course. There are four important considerations to begin with when we think about how to design for a co-requisite course. The first is instructors, the second is course scheduling, the third is timing, and the fourth is class structure, and we're about to go over those. So let's begin with the basics. Who is teaching this course? So depending on the size of the department and the credentialing of faculty, a single instructor may teach both the academic and developmental education support sections of the co-requisite course. Smaller departments and colleges often need to draw on the expertise of two instructors to deliver the co-requisite course. In the case of multiple instructors, communication is key to developing a cohesive program that allows students to move easily between both pieces of the course. The second consideration is course scheduling. So you might be pursuing a stacked learning model. In a stacked learning model, the support course is taught immediately before or after the credit level course. In a spaced learning model, the sections are on separate instructional days. So for example, the credit course may be on Tuesday, Thursday, while the support course is on Monday, Wednesday. Keeping in mind that the developmental support course can vary from 1 to 3 instructional hours depending on institutional and departmental needs. The next is about specifically curriculum and the timing. So you might pursue concurrent timing, which means that the developmental course content and the credit course content is presented concurrently. So it's connected by theme or concept or reading, and it allows the support course to be aligned to the credit course throughout the semester so students can learn just in time in related units. Consecutive timing is where we present developmental concepts first before credit level content. So in this organizational pattern, we begin with developmental topics and make sure that they are mastered before moving on to higher level concepts later on in the course. Now, depending on the topics of the course, you might choose to do a blending of these two. So some people present, for the most part, concurrent content, like thematic content, but they also embed developmental review at the front of their classes in sort of a consecutive model. The third consideration is class structure. So you might have a cohort model where you have developmental students in one class and that same group of developmental students carry over to the credit-bearing course. You might, on the other hand, have a commingling model. So this is where students are grouped together for the developmental support course and then they are commingled with college-ready students in the credit level course. The consideration of these four factors determines a lot about how content will be created and delivered. So for example, if you have a single instructor and we look at how curriculum is going to be designed, consecutive timing, making sure that they master developmental topics before moving on to course level content as a means of scaffolding makes sense. If, however, you're part of a team, concurrent timing that's connected by theme or unit might make more sense when it comes to covering course content together. Aligning syllabi. So in your syllabus, you will want to clearly indicate in both syllabi that the course is a linked co-requisite course and define what this means for students. For example, this class is part of a linked co-requisite course meant to provide additional support as you work through this semester. Activities, readings, and writing will be assigned in both courses, and students are expected to keep up with deadlines listed in each syllabus. Additionally, both instructors will regularly consult with each other to monitor student progress and collaborate on curriculum to best address student needs. We are both here to help you understand key concepts and successfully complete the semester. The key here being that both instructors are on the same page and that the course content will be aligned. While working on your syllabus, you might also want to consider the principles of the learner-centered approach, which includes things like visual design and diversity and inclusion statements. There are many ways of aligning curriculum into courses, the most prominent being backwards design that ensures that the developmental and disciplinary sections are working towards the same learning outcomes. Another way of looking at this, though, is what I call 3 ways in. So depending upon the level and comfort of collaboration between co-teachers, you might find one of these more easier to implement than the others. So the first is obviously by content. This is the most obvious one, right? So this may mean having a common course text or theme or materials or projects. This works well when courses are in the same discipline, but it can also be used in co-curricular design, as we've seen in the example from Dr. Ana Alanis. The second method is by aligning strategies and activities. Depending on teaching style, two instructors may both be able to utilize small groups, for example, or jigsaw, or think, pair, share, or reflective writing. By using common strategies, you help create traditions in the classroom that students recognize and can respond to in both classes. The third is by assessment. So could take the form of a common assignment between two classes, which students receive a grade for in each, or it could be a scaffolded project, for example, completing a first draft of an assignment in the developmental class and a final draft in the credit level class. So I realize that there's so much more we could cover here. I think one major aspect we cannot cover in depth due to the nature of this medium are the institutional challenges that we faced. We did touch upon them briefly before. Ideally, this legislation is met with a comprehensive and coordinated response from our institutions, which may include creating a co-requisite committee, and this would consist of administrators, faculty, and advisors who come together to troubleshoot issues and guide institutional response. You might also consider developing or creating a coordinator position or office. That way there's a single point person or office to help with scheduling, which is a big issue, and also to guide instructional design. The third is to create a handbook for co-requisite teachers or future co-requisite teachers. This would be an internal publication for new instructors that may cover definitions, expectations, student success, course policies, and teaching strategies. The fourth and final is to design professional development at your institution that can include online onboarding, in-person workshops, assignment repositories, and peer mentoring programs, among other options. So I typically end the morning sessions with three essential questions. The first is, what can your partner do to support your work? The second is, what can your institution do to support your work? And the third is, what do we need to talk about moving forward? These are the three guiding questions that help me figure out what needs to be worked on in the afternoon sessions. I also think that this is the basis of some really important discussions to have as departments, as divisions, as partners on your campuses, at your home institutions.